Hey babe, it's time to ask yourself a question. You know when the light is shining in the distance? It looks like a painting, and that light is streaming down in some distant spot, shining on a house or a location while you're sitting there in the shadows of the clouds rolling overhead. And it just looks so beautiful. And in that very moment, you have a thought that crosses your mind of, what would it be like to be them? They must be blessed. They're so lucky. Look at that light shining in on them as you're sitting there in the shadows. But yet, when that light shifts onto you, you play a whole different tune. You know, when it starts shining in and the heat gets you, and it's so bright that it's blinding. At first it feels magnificent, but then something inside of you triggers and shifts and it becomes uncomfortable. Maybe it's too bright. Maybe it's too hot. But yet you forgot that just yesterday you were wishing for the light to shine on you. To have those beautiful blessings come into your life. And now they're here. But the thing is that blessings always come after a shift, essentially a price. But these are the things that you asked for, the things that you wanted, the things that the universe or God, whoever, brought to you because you asked for it. But you forgot to think when you were asking for it to put the specific details in there. That you wanted the light to shine on you, but you didn't want it to be so bright that you couldn't see. You wanted the warmth that came from that sun, from that light that fills you up inside. But you forgot to mention what temperature you would like it at. Welcome to Milled Artistry's What's Your Question podcast. I am your host, Crystal, and it is my honor to be able to bring these questions to light for you and really make you stop and think, because I love a good question that is so simple at first. But the moment you actually truly look at that question, it sits there and teases and tingles the brain. In today's episode, we're talking about stepping into the spotlight. Stepping into the spotlight of the life that you truly, truly want. Being that most amazing person that you really are. But then, when you get it, you start going, oh shit, this is not what I expected. Because here's the thing. We all have wishes, we all have dreams. We all have wants. But the truth is, we rarely actually know what we want until we get it. And sometimes we don't know what that want is until we've lost it. So, how many of you have looked out across the distance? Now this could be looking out across like a field, and those rays of the sunlight start shining down on some distant part. For you, maybe you're looking at a person that's shining in a spotlight, going, what would it be like to be them? But see, here's the problem. When you're making wishes, and you're doing manifesting, and all of these things, and you start calling in, spirits and gods and all the things, and you're just like, make this happen, I want this. You're looking at the life with rose-colored glasses on. We all see colors in this world that nobody else can see. Because we all have a very unique perspective on life. We've all come from very unique, different backgrounds. But here's the thing. Before you can receive a blessing, you must go through the transformation first. And it's during that transformational period where you have all your tower moments. Or, if you don't know what a tower moment is, essentially, it is when the walls of your world come crashing down in around you. It might just be one wall that comes crashing down on your castle, on your life. That one piece of your life that you had built up to be so grand and magnificent. But you build it on unsolid ground. Or maybe the mortar between the stones became weak. Maybe the stones were the wrong kind of stones. So as the weather came showering down on them, it slowly eroded and ate them away. We've all had those moments. Sometimes it's a relationship. Sometimes it's a job. Sometimes it's a dream that we aspire to be. But we made those wishes, those wants in haste. And we looked at that life. It's like the grass is always greener on the other side, right? But here's the thing. Your neighbor thinks the same thing. That your grass is so much greener than what theirs is. They see the world that you build up around you. The way that you hold yourself. The way you stick to your boundaries. The kindness of your heart. They see how they can push you just a little bit and gets a little bit of a raise out of you. Or maybe you fall silent and just let them be their powerhouse while you feel small. Whatever the case may be for you. No, you're not in this alone. You never have been. Regardless of where you come from or what your beliefs are. Whether you believe in spirits, angels, gods, all the things, or you believe in magic and the fae. Maybe you simply believe that people are real and nothing more. There are people in your life that care about you. We live in an extraordinary time where we have the internet, we have social media, we have connections that traditional life never allotted us. It's breaking down social norms that were built on unsturdy ground some 2,000 years ago in an act to make others to conform to one belief. To one way of being. And it's spread across the world. Colonizing. From one end of the globe to the other. And those that did not conform to these new beliefs, this only way of being, were ridiculed. They were chastised. They were cast out. They are still persecuted to this day. But here's the thing. When you start questioning society, it makes everybody uncomfortable. And in that uncomfortableness, people fear the change that will come from it. And they hold deeper and deeper and deeper onto those root beliefs that they were raised with. It never ceases to shock me when I'm working with someone even young adults. I mean, we're talking kids that just turned 18. And they have this need for absolute control in their life because it's the only thing that makes them feel safe. And if they don't have control, if things don't go the way that they had planned or had wanted them to, how they feel that somehow they're wrong, somehow they're not enough. I would love to say that this is not a thing anymore, but it absolutely is. Young girls that, and not just the young, mind you and me, not just the young. It doesn't matter if you're 80 years old or if you're 18, if you're 8. We've all been programmed and told for generations that essentially a woman's job, and y'all, some of you are going to hate how I say this, but this is how I'm going to say it, that a woman's job is to be pretty, make her man look good, support him without question. Because in your family, the man is the man of the house. He's essentially the image of God. I don't mean this in a derogative way. Just listen to what I say for just one moment before you question me. With an unbiased viewpoint of an open, curious mind of what are the actual possibilities? Be that little mad scientist as I say these things, okay? Not in a bad way, but with that genuine curiosity of how you can see this apply in your own life. But women have been raised for generations to be submissive, to obey without question. That their job is to make their men look good. That their only purpose in this whole world is to support your husband, to support a man, a good man, even if you disagree. To make him look good and to make lots of babies. You can bite me if you want to fight me. I've been there too. And I've come out the other side. And I'll tell you what. The kid my husband married all those years ago is not the same person that he knows today. And to be honest, my husband really appreciates the fact that we have such an open relationship these days. Now, as I say open, I mean in communication-wise. If there's something we don't like or something we'd like to try, we say, hey, I would like to try this. Hey, I like this. Hey, I don't like that. I don't know how I feel about that one. And this applies in all levels of our life. And since we started doing that, there's a freshness. For the lack of a better way to put this, there's a freshness. There's a revitalization. Not revitalization. That word's not going to come out of my mouth. I apologize. But it is reinvigorated our relationship. He knows where I stand, and I know where he stands. And if I do something he doesn't like, he'll tell me. If there's something he wants to try, he tells me. He asks me. And I extend the exact same respect to him. Because it's not about a battle of the wits. It's not about who's the bigger man. It's not about who is in control, who wears the pants. We're in this together. Didn't used to be that way. Because just like everyone else, we had conformed to this idea that the man had to be the breadwinner. And being an extremely independent person myself, who had always supported themselves before he came along into my life. Had a solid plan, I had money, I had all the things. And here comes this guy that sweeps me off my feet. He was always encouraging to me. Even though I couldn't see what it was that he seen in me. I could, we all do, but I couldn't accept what I was feeling. I couldn't accept the truth about me. I knew the truth. We all do know the truth about ourselves. Even if we deny it. We feel it. And those that truly care about us, they're going to stand by us. They're going to encourage us. They're the ones that keep telling you that you don't need to do that. You're already beautiful. You don't need to change. You're perfect. Just like you are. I wish you would just say what it is that you need to say. Because when you speak your truth, baby, it's so hot. It makes me fall in love with you over and over and over again. Now, I'm not going to lie. When my husband and I first started doing this new way of communicating, it was a little uncomfortable at first. But here's the thing about me. When I see something that needs to change, I will push. And I will push. And I will tease. And I will torment. And I will continue to do it. In the most nurturing of ways. Essentially, the little kid in me comes out to play. And it's not to be mean. It's not to be menacing. It is delivered in a sense of playfulness, of encouragement. That has always served me very well in my life. Makes everybody uncomfortable as hell. But it has served me well. And when we first started trying this, I'm not going to lie, he was resistant. And it was uncomfortable for me to start speaking in those ways to my husband. Because I respected him. And I had been raised in a way that my job as a woman was to make a man look good. To support him without question. Even if I knew he was wrong. And to make lots of babies. And that I knew that was never the life for me. But everybody I had ever known, every lesson I had ever been told about the dynamics, that's what it said. And when you start actually having those conversations, as I keep telling you, you lead by example. So if you want them to start talking to you openly, honestly, I really encourage you to be playful about it. Not defensive, not offensive, but playful. And to do it in a way that, you might be pushing them a little bit outside their comfort zone. And it may take some time. But the more you do it, and you lead by example, ooh, I love it when you do that. Ooh, let's not do that one again. I don't like that. You will change your world. As my husband says, he's like, I really like how we do this. I like how we just talk. Because I can just be free. I know I can try things, and you're not going to misjudge me. And if you don't like it, you're going to tell me. And if you do like it, you're going to tell me. It gives a sense of freedom in a relationship that should always have been there. Now, I say all of this kind of backstory for a reason. Because it's the same thing that happens when you start stepping into the light and you start going through that transformational period before the light actually shines on you. And you start getting that resistance in, that, ooh, I'm a little uncomfortable. This is a little scary to me, because doing something new is scary. Change is scary, but it's not impossible. You're not in a horror movie. You're just in a scary movie. And just like all movies, eventually the movie ends and you walk out of the movie theater, man. Or you turn the television off. Show's over. You have to go through the change. You have to release all the chains of yesterday. You have to go through those changes and those shifts. And they're not easy. And nor should they be. Because if it were easy, you wouldn't learn the lesson. It wouldn't mean the same thing. It's like someone comes in and gives you this gorgeous thing. Yeah, that's sweet. But does it mean more if they made it by hand or if they just ordered it? If they took their time, their energy, their resources, their creativity, and crafted it with their own hands, it means a hell of a lot more. Do you want to know what means even more than that? Is that if you had made it, not somebody else. Because the things that we make in our life, hold a deeper meaning to us. The things that we learn in our life, the things that we had to actively go out and search for, mean so much more than anything else could ever possibly mean to us, to you. The most painful events that have happened in our life, and the most extraordinary and exciting and happy memories in our life, are the ones that stick with us the most. They were never easy, but they're the ones that we remember the most. We remember them the most because they are the most emotionally charged things that happen in our life. They're also the things that we learned the most from. The good and the bad. But just think, if you'd never had those bad things happen in your life, you'd never be able to realize how great your life was, right? You remember what you feel. You remember the feelings that are associated with a smell. With an old tune. Maybe you don't even recognize, you don't even know the name of it. Maybe you never did. But you heard that somewhere. And that's tied to an emotion. A memory, emotion-filled memory. That's not a bad thing. You remember the smell of Grandma cooking and baking in the kitchen. You remember the feeling, the comfort that gave you. And when you go back and you're like, oh, I just really want to taste that food again. Because it feels like you have a piece of them with you again. Chances are you do. And chances are you're at a point in your life where you're really needing that comfort. That you're really needing someone to come in and tell you that you're doing amazing. that you are on the right path, that you are doing the right thing. And they're so proud of you. And if you haven't heard that yet today, or recently, I am proud of you. From the very bottom depths of my being, I am proud of you. And it's okay to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. Because you're amazing. Just as you are. You've never been too weak. You've never been too strong. You've never been too bold. You've never been too quiet. You always have showed up exactly how you needed to in that moment, so that you could learn what it was that you were willing and not willing to have in your life. Those moments that fill you with so much joy. They just make a smile come across your face just thinking about it. You want more of those in your life. And then you remember those dark times. They just make you want to cry. Go ahead and cry. And then when you're done crying, look back at that moment from kind of like an angelic perspective. Revisit that moment. But look at it from above, from where you are now, looking back at it. As if you were watching a movie almost. You remember the things the way you remember them. Sometimes we don't always remember everything. Sometimes we remember it far different than it may have been. But that was the perspective that we had at that time. But now in your older state, even if it was only yesterday, you're not the same person that you were. You can look back at it from that slightly more mature, that higher perspective and that higher knowledge of the way the world works around you. And you can see that and go, oh, that's right, Mom and Dad, they didn't tell me then, but we were about to lose the house. They didn't tell me then that Dad had just lost his job. And they didn't know what they were going to do. And although it felt at the time that they were taking it completely out on me, at that moment in time, they were scared. And it was never my fault. I just happened to be there. Take away from that moment, that memory, what it is that you needed. And remember how that transformed your life. Remember the things that you put into place that you said you would never allow to have happen again in your life. That you would never be in that situation again. No matter what, you would never allow that to happen again. And from that tower moment that your parents had, that impacted you so much, just as an example, you seen them blossom, you seen them transform, you seen them change, regardless of what direction that went. You witnessed how that affected them, and what you seen affected how you would choose to show up from there on. Maybe it brought in blessings that you could not even begin to imagine. Maybe they lost that job. They had no idea what they were going to do. And then they went and actually started their own business because they were tired of being treated as being replaceable. They were going to go after a dream. They had no idea if it was going to work. And they had nothing else to lose. But they were going to go after that dream because at that point, why the hell not? What's it going to hurt to try? I've been there too. It's funny to me as I think along this line. back on my own thoughts, my own life that I've had, and the transformations that I've gone through, and the towers that have come crashing down, that how something that was wrong in my past, actually was wrong, has shifted me and changed me. How I look back on those memories, not with a level of regret, but with a level of gratitude and appreciation. Because it allowed my eyes to be opened in a way that they had never been opened before. It allowed me to see the world in a way that prior to that moment, I'd never been able to see. I got to see the truth of people when they were truly scared and how they reacted. When they were truly mad, how they'd react. I got to see the world from so many different perspectives because of my past. And because I was that silent observer. Because there was safety in silence. And it took me a long time, and I still face it from time to time. Random comments, people that come up and go, man, seen you on TV, man. Like, you're doing amazing. I love watching you. I love watching the videos that you make. Y'all, if you come up and tell me that you love my videos, I appreciate you. I do. But I'm not going to lie, it triggers me. You come up and tell me that you're watching me on your TV. Granted, that's just because I'm here on YouTube. And you can play it on your TV. It still triggers me. I still find myself triggered when people will just call out or notice a comment that I've left. It's kind of stupid. But it's that resistance that's coming in. And I'm not afraid of that resistance. Granted, it still triggers me just a smidgen. Just a smidgen. Makes me a little uncomfortable. But see, it's when that uncomfortable feeling comes in over you that it's kind of the universe's way of saying this is right. Now, there's a difference between, yeah, I'm a little uneasy about this. Oh, man, oh, this makes me a little nervous. Versus, ooh, I don't like that. Like, I don't like that. There's a difference. And the more you listen to what your body is telling you, the more you are listening to what your nervous system is telling you, the more you listen to your intuition, to your gut, the more you will be able to recognize what is a little resistance and the universe kind of going, are you sure this is really what you want? Because if you can't get over this little hurdle, what you're calling in, what you're dreaming, what you're wishing for, what you're manifesting for, you're not going to be able to hold that. Because you're going to have to face this in that life. And not just a little bit. It is going to be a part of your life. So I know that by me continuing to show up, more and more people are going to see me. As a child, I was safe when I was silent and hiding. But I'm no longer hiding because I'm no longer that little kid. I am no longer too small to defend myself. I am no longer too small or too weak to defend others. I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. I am an adult. And y'all, it's funny. Because as a kid, I was always the adult. But now that I am an adult, and I've gotten much stupider in my older age, far less wiser. Said what I said, and I meant it. But as an adult, being an adult scares the hell out of me. Sometimes just having to pick up and make that phone call. Man, y'all, I hate making phone calls. Absolutely hate making phone calls. I hate having to reach out and send somebody a message, because in the back of my mind, I still have those little demons in there going, what if they misunderstand what you mean? Y'all, as a kid, I was always misunderstood. And I knew it. But I would be submissive and go, yeah, you're right. Even though I knew they weren't. Words would not come out of my mouth right. They understood it differently because they see the world in a different way than I. And I would take that as a personal thing. That somehow I was wrong, even though I knew I wasn't. That somehow I wasn't enough, even though I knew I wasn't, that I was. Get that to come out of my mouth right. I knew I was right. I knew they were wrong. But I'd been trained my whole life that my opinion didn't matter. So it's really funny though, because I do want to point this out. I did have a lot of hardships in my life. We all have. Every single person. I don't care who you are, where you're from, what your background is, who your parents are, who you know. I don't care how much money you got sitting in your bank account. I don't care how you dress. I don't care. Every single person, every single animal, every single plant, creature, living or deceased, has had extreme hardships in their life. And it's through those hardships that we grow. And it's only because of those hardships. It's only because we went through that we are able to truly hold the blessings of the manifestations and the dreams and the wishes and the goals that we have called and prayed and begged for to come in. Because the truth is, if you get a blessing in your life, say, just as an example, you go, God, I want this. I want to hold it right now. So God goes, okay, here you go. And he gives you this crystal ball that holds all your blessings in. Everything that you just wished for. The only problem is that you don't have God's strength. You're trying to hold this thing, and it's too heavy. You're not worthy yet. And I have to rephrase that, because I don't like that. You are worthy. You're always worthy. You're always worthy. But it's more like you haven't earned it yet. It's like going to the gym. If you go into the gym, you've never worked out, you've never lifted anything more than 5 pounds your entire life, and you go in, you're not going to be able to pick up this 500-pound bar and weights, okay? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You have to train those muscles. You have, like, you got to be dedicated. You got to keep going to the gym. You got to keep working it. You got to keep going. Keep going. Even when you're sore, even when you're tired, and you're like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go today. You still have to show up. Now maybe you don't go run 10 miles that day. Maybe all you do is a few sit-ups and a few push-ups on the floor and you just stretch your body out first thing in the morning. Instead, you still showed up. Even though you were sore, even though you were tired, you still got the blood pumping through you. And the next day, you went back to your normal exercise routine. It's the same thing in our life. And it's the same thing as holding those blessings that we've been begging and pleading and praying for. You can't hold it yet because you haven't built those muscles up yet. You haven't built up your resistance to the resistance. When that light, that spotlight comes shining down on you in whatever aspect it is for you in your current situation in your life. Maybe it's just starting to speak your own voice. Maybe it's you're going to start taking better care of yourself. Maybe you're starting to practice a little bit of self-love and self-acceptance. Maybe you're forgiving yourself and others for past situations. Maybe you just start practicing having more gratitude in your life. Like every night, oh, I'm so thankful I have a roof over my head. I'm so thankful that I have friends, that I have family, that I have someone that I can talk to. I'm so thankful that so-and-so called me out on my bullshit. I'm so thankful that I met so-and-so when I was at the grocery store. I'm so grateful that I have enough money to pay my bills. I might not have much, might take every single penny I have, but I'm so grateful that I could get that bill paid. I'm so grateful for all the things that I have. For my animals, for the plants, for the trees, for the fact that we have water. Every single thing that you have. You start practicing gratitude. And you start forgiving yourself for the shortcomings that you perceive of yourself. That others have at some point in time told you that you should be or that you needed to do, but it never felt right. And you honored yourself. You're grateful to yourself because you honored your truth. Whatever the case is for you, as you start flexing these muscles, because they are muscles, you start cleansing and releasing the old energy, the old thoughts, the old beliefs, the old actions, the old behaviors. When you start seeing that repeating pattern coming back into your life, you push through it and say, I'm done. No more. You start saying no. And no is a complete sentence, by the way. It does not deserve exclamation. Not exclamation. It does not require you to explain or to defend yourself. It does not mean that you need to tell them even why. No is a complete sentence. And if you're not using the word no when you want to say no, you should start trying. I know, I just told you to forget what everybody else keeps telling you that you should do, and I just told you something that you should do. I appreciate the irony of that. Anyhow, keep going, because you are doing phenomenal. And there are people around you that see you glowing and becoming brighter every single day as you continue to work through your journals. And you keep doing that inner work and that inner acceptance. That one day, that spotlight, those rays of the sunlight coming over the hill or coming across the ocean, land on you. And you're not going to be afraid of it anymore. When God or whomever puts that crystal and ball of all of your blessings that you have been asking for in your hands, you're not going to drop it. You're going to hold on to it. And more than that, you will absorb it and become it. It will be you. See, here's the thing. You are the blessing. It's never been an outside force. I'm not saying there's not outside forces, but you are the blessing. You are also the karma for other people, whether that be for the good or the bad. You are their karma. You are the blessing. You are the karma. You are the one person that showed up and answered that prayer. You didn't even know it. But that simple smile that you gave to somebody, that little smile and nod of acknowledgement as you walked past a complete stranger, was a confirmation and the sign that they had been looking for to keep going. That there would be brighter days. That person that you just went up and hugged. That person that you held the door open. That person that you waved and said hi to. Even if you didn't know them. Maybe you did. You are the damn blessing. Honor that. And as you're going through all these shifts and these changes, here is one of the most important parts. Rest. Because when you start hitting that first bit of resistance and you do continue to push through it, you're like, no, I'm not going to go back to that. Because I've seen something more. I've felt something more. And I truly, to the core of my being, believe that I deserve that. That I deserve better. I deserve better from me and from those around me. Not because I'm being selfish in some negative view, but because I know that if I am to live my life and to show up in the people's lives that are important to me, that I must first take care of myself, that I must learn to respect and honor the boundaries that I have put in place for damn good reason, even if nobody else understands those reasons. Even if they walked away with these hurt feelings and this misjudgment of you. They walked away with the memories, the moments from that situation that they needed for whatever is coming their way. Trust in that. And know that if you go back and you take them back and you go back to being that submissive person, that you're giving away your power. You're giving away that control and that right to your own life, and that you will never be happy there. Because you're no longer that person. And the people that are meant to be in your life are going to stay in your life. It doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. It doesn't mean that they're going to understand what you're going through, why you're making these sudden changes. That's where open communication comes into play, my dear. Sit down and have those raw, open, honest communication. Truly say what it is you feel. And ask for a little bit of respect from them to just let you speak what you need to speak. And then return the same courteous to them. Thank them. Don't apologize, but thank them for just listening, for not giving advice, for not trying to make you feel better, but to simply sit there and listen. And then ask them what is important to them. How do they need you to show up in their life? And tell them how you need them to show up in your life. Tell them why this is important to you. Because it's with that open communication that you establish this freedom within your relationships where you can truly be you. Where you don't have to fear this reprimand. You don't have to fear that they're going to misunderstand you. If they do, just ask them, what did you hear me say? This will clear up so many miscommunications, baby. Misunderstandings. It's beautiful. And be curious and playful, babe. Tease and have fun. Because you are the blessing. You are a blessing in that person's life. Whether you or they even know it. And they are the blessing in your life. The blessing that you've needed. So keep going. And as you push through that resistance, and you get closer and closer to that spotlight, and every now and then that light shines in on you, and you feel a little uncomfortable, like, oh my God, people can see me. Keep going. Maybe you don't go for that run that day. Maybe you drop and give me 20 instead. Maybe you only get 2, and that's okay. But I know you can do it. So I will playfully and lovingly push you. Just as a good friend would. I'm also going to call you out on your bullshit. And when you want to hide the truth, when you want to hide what it is that you really need to say, like that tension in your guts, that dis-ease, that discomfort, I'm going to ask you why. Why does it feel like I just punched you in the gut, baby? Because right here, right now, if you are sitting here and you are watching us, or maybe you just got your earbuds in and you're just listening. If you are listening to this, I want to remind you of something, that you are safe. If you are in a place where you can actually be listening to this, you are safe. You don't have to control the situation anymore. Just like the little girl in me that used my control obsessively because it made me feel safe. Because I used my silence, my ability to see and read people instantaneously to keep me safe. It is my superpower. But, just like you, in this very second, this very moment, we are safe. We don't have to control everything. Because right now, we are safe. Now, I can't say anything about 10 seconds from now. I can't say anything about 10 seconds ago. But in this second, you are safe. You are loved. You are cared about. And people would miss you. Gravely miss you. So stay with us. Stay with us just a little bit longer, baby. Because this is just a little bit of resistance. And the resistance isn't bad. It's not even so much a test. It's just simply giving you one little tiny taste of the things that you're going to have to face as you continue to walk towards that light until the day comes that it You are the spotlight. And when that day comes, baby, you're going to be absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And you are going to shine so damned bright that you look back at this moment in your life from then, and you are hardly going to be able to believe the changes and the transformations that you went through. It's going to feel like you're walking in a dream life. In hindsight, the things that you've held on to for so long, in the here and the now, you're going to look back on and go, why did I hold on to that for so long? Why did I do that? You held on to it for as long as you needed to. Because the whole time, even though you didn't realize it, you were building up your muscles, baby. You were building up your strength so that you could be that amazing person. Even when you felt the weakest. Now, after you go through those resistance and you shed off those chains and you let go of the things, it's time to rest. Because that takes so much energy. It's just like when you're sick. Just because you got the medicine or the cold went away doesn't mean that all the symptoms instantly went away. You still have the symptoms. It doesn't mean that you're instantly re-energized and recharged and you're going to go run out and just run a freaking marathon. No. You're still experiencing the symptoms. You're still feeling sick. You're still got that rough, raggedy voice from that cold. Like, you're still got that runny nose and you're still sneezing. Your stomach's still a little uneasy. And you're absolutely beat. You're so tired. Your body needs rest. Your mind needs rest. Your emotions need a rest. Your spirit needs rest. Your energetic body needs rest. Honor that. Because you're just about to step into that spotlight. And with that requires so much more energy. And your body is needing to build it up. It's similar to like a hurricane or a tornado. You walk through, like, you get hit by the first part. The outer rim on one side. And it's spinning round and round and round. And it's so hard, and you just keep pushing, keep hiding. You do whatever it is that you need to do to make it through that. And then the eye of the storm comes over. Clear skies above. And gives you this little peace, this little moment to realize that you are currently safe. That you survived the first part. It gives you that hope that you're still going to be here when the next side hits. Or maybe the storm will finally dissipate before the other side hits. It gives you that moment to relax enough to rest. And you're shining, magnificent. You're looking up at the sky. And you can hardly believe that you're still alive. The storm's not over yet. So rest while you can. Okay? Rest, baby. Go to that place that you need to, where you can get through the other side too. Because that eye of the storm is that respite. And after the storm passes, that's when the light returns. Granted, it's a mess outside, but you are still alive. And you are safe. You are strong. You are wise. You are the blessing in somebody else's life. So rest now. Because the shaking off of old chains, the cutting of cords, the walking away from old relationships that are not serving your highest good, walking away from those toxic jobs, walking away from a toxic behavior, takes a lot of work. And it's not easy. Because if it were easy, you wouldn't learn the lesson. If it was just given to you, it wouldn't mean nearly as much as if you had gone out and earned it for yourself. Because when that light starts shining in on you on the other side, baby, you're absolutely gonna be magnificent. I know it's hard to see now. It always is. But as you're walking through the storm of that tornado, that hurricane, look at all the things that it removed from your life that had left you feeling miserable. The people, the places, the energies, all the things. All the things that got cleared away in that storm. Feel the peace, the joy, the happiness that you have because you're still here. And as long as you are still here, baby, you can rebuild the walls for your towers, for your castle walls. And you can make the absolute most gorgeous kingdom this world has ever known. Keep going. All right. Yum. Have a beautiful day. Enjoy this changing of the season, this holiday, depending on what beliefs you come from. It's a holiday today. Celebrate it in your own way and what feels right to you. Not because I told you to, but because you deserve to go out and play. You deserve to go out and be free inside your own life. Okay? Make sure you drop down in the comments. I would love to have a deeper conversation with you. I would love to hear what you needed to hear from this. Or those aha moments where you went, oh, really? Really? And if you're not already following along, why are you not following me along, babe? We go into those dark, deep shadows. We have those challenging conversations. But at the end of the day, my intention is to leave you feeling a little bit more at peace, a little wiser, a little stronger, a little more confident in yourself. Because healing starts with you. And I'm so proud of you. My name is Crystal, here with Meld Artistry, showing up for you on the What's Your Question podcast. And I have a promise for you. I have a deal. You want to make a deal? I will continue to show up for you, even when it's not easy. Even when I don't want to, not because I have to. Even on the days where I wake up and I'm tired, I'm going to first honor myself and my own needs, but then I will show up for you if you will continue to show up for you, because that's where the magic happens. Till next week. Peace out, Mom. Have a gorgeous day.